Welcome. This is going to be such an amazing day of feel good.
Feel good stuff.
Real feel good stuff. This is from our clients out of the mouths of working with horses, because you can't even make this up if you tried. We're always so shocked when we're running our programs and we're thinking, geez, there's so much to take in, and then there's so little time, like when you really think about it, that they're in the arena with the horses and they come out after one session with horses with the most profound, enlightening, I don't know, it's such a privilege to hear what comes out of their mouths. And it's always like, we've been doing this for now 16 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is absolutely life-changing to all humans when you know how to run the programs, how to facilitate it. It's going to be a cool time today.
Yeah, it's just going to be kind of, actually somebody requested it last time.
Yeah, Tammy.
Saying, that's right, Tammy. Good morning, Petra from Northern Alberta. I love it. Good to see you on. Yes, anybody who's on, let us know who you are, where you're from. We always like to know those pieces too. But the nice piece about today is feel free to ask us questions as we go through, but this is really just the things that people get from doing this. And as a facilitator, for any of those who are on today too, sometimes you do a course and you get to the end of it and you're like, whoa, like that was a lot, man.
Yesterday was a lot.
It was a lot. There was a lot going on. And you're kind of like, oh, I hope that went as well as I thought, like as we wanted it to and that kind of thing. And then you get the feedback after of what people took from it. And this is why you can never be that person that takes over talking for the horse, because you don't know what's going on in somebody's head. You don't know what is the impactful thing for them. You don't actually know what it is that's going to hit them so hard they're going to apply to their life all the time. And then they write something and you're like, well, holy, did they ever apply that to life? And did they ever take that piece to heart? And did they ever take something away about themselves from that? And it just is mind-boggling every single time we do it.
The transfer of the learning is outrageous. It really is. And for all of those who are not degreed in the psyche of the human brain, and all of you that are degreed, it is a phenomenal it is a phenomenal certification, but even working with other facilitators who are certified in this area, it brings so much to light for people moving forward in their lives. I just don't even know how you could even through a research piece. I've thought of this so many times, because every single human is different. Every single human is unique. And then you get how they're learning and transferring it. You couldn't have even made it up in a textbook style, because it's coming from their own being.
That's what I was just going to say. It's a method of introspection that I don't know if you get too many other places, because it's from working with the horse. They can't lie. They can't judge. They don't do all those other pieces. So there's no opportunity to be anything kind of but aware or but self assuring, I guess, as you go through and make things work. And even, going through people who are scared of horses or all those pieces, it's all good stuff and it all comes through. That's the longest opener we've ever done.
Yeah. Let's move.
So we'll do the regular rigmarole here. Every time I do this, sorry, Tiki Talkers, you got to move. So
I look like my 90-year-old grandma.
Yeah. Hello to Facebook too. Hello, everybody. So first and foremost, if you hear something today, and I hope you will, take something away that just kind of maybe hits your heartstrings a little bit, throw in that hashtag,
holy jumping tuna fish.
That's that lovely Kariism, a way of saying, wow. She actually pulled that out in the course yesterday. It was pretty funny because the guys always get a good kick out of it.
They do. They giggle a lot.
But nobody really asks usually.
They just love my Kariisms, I guess you would say.
It's a tuna fish kind of day. So the next one we, of course, have as well is this hashtag of We Are Life Changers. And that's not just us. That's not just our horses. That's every single one of you. Thank you, my little cheerleader on the side. That's every single one of you guys who have the opportunity to make a difference in somebody's life every single day that we live and breathe. And we are blessed enough to be able to do that piece with horses. But really, it does go down to kindness at the end of the day. Sprinkle it out there. Let kindness reign, people. It is time we get back to kindness.
Yes.
Kindness.
Amen. Period.
It's time, doggone it. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Let kindness reign, people.
She is on kind today.
Yeah, I saw something earlier that irked me, I think. that it was, again, hiding behind a screen and typing something.
Oh,
Stop
people
it.
are very, very
Stop.
nasty behind the computer, I have
It's
to
true.
say.
They are. Stop it. Be good. Be kind. Any hoodle. Share, because sharing is caring. It's kind to rewind. Actually, it gives the opportunity for more people maybe to get the little bit of a uplift or the feel good that they need to feel today as well. Figuring out how horses and people work together to come up with these amazing outcomes.
You bet.
And then, of course, we got the replay. If you join us on replay, let us know that you're here so we can come back and say hello. Those of you who are on, hey, Heather, good to see you. Please do let us know that you're here so we can give you a quick shout out. We always love to say hello to all of our people that are joining us, and it feels like we're not just talking to each other.
Yeah, we do that too many times. So please let us know.
We talk to each other all day, you guys.
I know.
Give us something else here.
Isn't it the truth? You know, I thought today for our introduction, we should do a quick little, how the heck did we even get into this?
Oh.
Because it goes into the testimonials, it goes into the reviews and how it's life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought this would be a great way. Hopefully, Tammy, you were out there so you can hear some of these testimonials today as well. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I can. Yeah, I came into this a little unconventionally in the fact that I had no horse experience or want to even hang out with them. Like, I had no idea horses were magical unicorns that just grazed our planet. I didn't realize those pieces.
And I wanted her on the team because she's IT. She understood, you know, websites and marketing. Those are the things I didn't want anything to do with. I mean, I know you still have to, but she was the pro at it. So I thought that's how the Equine Connection could balance. I do the horsey stuff. She does the this stuff.
And I wasn't going to be living here at that point because I was moving up to Edmonton area for a while. So it worked out kind of well. But at first she told me about this. I'm like, okay, like, what are you talking about? I think I flat palmed her. Like, that sounds real nice that you're going to work with magical horses. But somebody just asked where we're located. Our home base is Calgary, Alberta, Canada, but we also have places all over the States and Australia, and we visit New Zealand. And there's online options too. Yeah, in Europe.
2025.
Yes, I love it. We've got Illinois on, Manitoba. This is all good stuff too. Yeah, when I first started and Kari was telling me these horses, they do the teaching and I really wasn't too on board. And I'm a skeptical person just by
nature.
Yeah. That's just how I came into the world.
But I like that.
It's good. Yeah. Then, you know, things aren't.
You question everything to make sure proof is in the pudding by Cracky.
And not like in a rude way, just in an informational way. I need to know the whys. Anywho, so I wasn't really sure how this whole thing played out until I saw a program. And then I saw this moment of interaction between this youth that the leaders were telling me one thing about and this horse. And it was completely different. I could see the authenticity in the moment that was happening in front of me versus the words that were being said in front of me. And it was actually a really cool moment to be a part of. And then from that point on, you had me at horses and I was in at that point and went forward. But I have to say, as I have grown with the horses and moved forward more, I have witnessed and felt firsthand, more so than anything else, how horses can truly save us for, you know, trying not to sound dramatic or anything like that. But I know from my own personal experience that they do, and they can help us get to the point where we can be ourselves, where we can be authentic. They can be this grounding point that for some of us who maybe haven't felt grounded in a long time, it's a whole different aspect of how you can learn to be you all over again. And from that, all of the life skills that you gain along the way as well. So I did end up moving into it and doing the facilitation side and the instructing side and all of the good stuff. And it has changed my life for the better every single day that I get to run these programs and be a part of this. Despite all the extra hard work that's the website stuff for this and that, you go and you run a program, you're like, oh, worth it. Yeah, good. I love getting up and doing this every single day. So that's, in a very small nutshell, my story of how I got into it.
Cool.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kari Fulmack, the founder of the Equine Connection. And, you know, for myself, I'm always about knowing that I can die. So here's the biggest reason why I put it into drive that this must move forward. Because knowing, and I think it's very much so like a horse, not living in the past, not living in the future, understanding that we must live in the present. And my way of thinking every day is this could be my last day. So knowing it can be my last day, I'm not a human who thinks I going to live forever because I know we all die. We all die, and I'm very aware of it. So I really feel for me, which I've always said this my entire life. I don't know where I got it from, but it helps me to live in the moment and being present versus skidding off to those fluffy worlds of future and past. So in understanding that, my mom was super poor all of her life. We moved 25 times. I always wanted a horse, always. But of course, single mom, she could no afford. So she bought me this little 25-cent used book garage sale about a horse. Well, I tell you, the dream, and I'm just saying this because the dream that you have that's passionate inside you is always there. And there's very few humans on this earth who get to actually live their dream. And some people wait so long and too long. Well, they either die or they get to a different place that, oh man, I didn't get to live the way that I wanted to live. So mine was in search of the purpose piece. So in understanding, I did not want to be in anything. I've always been an entrepreneur since I've been in diapers. I wanted something that was real, that was solid, and that was so purposeful that when I closed my eyes at nighttime, and if I did die, it was a good day because it was really helping another human on this earth. But the bonus is being self-full. So I get to be with the horses every day and smell them and just be in their presence. So that's how it all started happening. I was a late bloomer too. So again, being an entrepreneur, you still got to make some money. And for me, it was, okay, how do I now bring horses into the picture? I didn't want to be a riding instructor. I wanted to work with horses in a completely different way. And this is how Equine Assisted Learning came into it. And now it's been since 2008. Like, it's pretty impressive too, to, not all businesses can last for that many years. You know, even if you're going back in stats and Forbes and all of that, and businesses, it's hard. But, it's phenomenal because you make it always go because you see the outstanding results when you are with these horses and you're with a program set up with the lesson plans and understanding there's always got to be a result because they're all designed with predictable outcomes. And then you're so humbled, and it's a privilege to see a human make a change, not because we have told them what needs to change. They discover it themselves. It's like they're their own therapists, these humans who come in and solving the problems because they're working with the horse and because the horse says, no, you're not safe right now. I'm not going to follow you. They make a change and they're like, oh, I can use this in my life. This is why things are happening. So that's, for me, how I got into it. A wee little child dreaming about being with a horse. And it was closer to my 40s when I started thinking, I don't want material businesses anymore. I want something that had purpose and substance. And it's not about, when you're young, you want to be a millionaire in a business. Those days are long gone because when you're with horses, it's pretty tough to become a millionaire. But, living life every day, feeling so fulfilled in the purpose that you are giving. It's priceless. It really is priceless.
And I think you kind of switch, especially as you get older and you start realizing a few things, your definition of rich changes.
Totally.
Right? Like, when you're 18, you're like, oh, I want to buy this car, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, right? And all has to do with money. But richness is a lifestyle. It's something that you possess within you, and it is having a purpose. That's what allows you to live a rich life. And we make a good living. We do well.
We do.
We do all those pieces which are
to travel, have some holidays,
but it's not about being a millionaire.
No.
It's about being full
and connected to that piece of what your purpose is. So this is why when we're going to read some of these testimonials, this is profound, and this is profound for what this human experienced in that moment that changed his life for that day. And then they come back next week and they're like, oh my gosh, I used what I learned last week in order to get through recovery.
Truly.
to get through life, because life is difficult. Yesterday we had Simon House come in. So it's a whole new group of guys. So of course we work with organizations, which in our certification, we really help you to become a business that you make a living at, because who wants to keep promoting a business that you have to keep marketing and pulling people off the street sort of thing? We work with organizations so you always have a business. So with Simon House, they come every week, every Tuesday, and they're here for more or less an hour and a half. So they come in, new group. These guys had major questions. Like they were
great. They're good.
They were in.
Yeah.
We only had, I think it was 15 minutes in the arena, because your first program, you're really helping them to understand, why do you work with horses? They need to understand the evidence and the science and how a horse's brain works, how a horse talks.
Safety.
Because if the horse ain't safe, the humans aren't safe.
That's right.
So we go out there. Oh my gosh, were these guys, after we did the arena time, when they came back in to pick their words, it's just outstanding. Like they'd say, I didn't realize I wasn't looking into where I wanted to go into my life. Like that's a huge one.
And people that not realizing, like, because we kind
They're
of go
not self-aware,
and we float through life, or we're on our phones or whatever else. It's a huge piece for them when they start figuring out those pieces, that it's just, and something simple sometimes, but how much of a difference and an impact it makes. Yeah,
absolutely.
Huge.
But anyways, yesterday was phenomenal, because you're debriefing. That's when you bring it all together. It's just outrageous. They pick a word and they give so much thanks to the horse, and they love their horses. They are all mushy mushers of the mushy mush world. Let me tell you.
It's true. So I've got just a few here.
Okay,
so these
perfect.
are some ladies ones.
This is Next Step Ministries?
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, even like with this organization, we had worked with them for 7 years, and then they actually just closed down last year.
Yeah. And funding. That's such a good organization. Amazing organization. Today I felt leadership. Throw me to the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack. I want to lead by example and show others that change is possible. The horse made me feel confident and strong with leadership. That's a cool one.
It is. Even yesterday, the guys, that was the huge thing they kept bringing up too. They said, even though I was so scared, like it's such a huge animal, I had to respect that horse. And then respect myself. And I had to dig in deep to feel confident to show the horse through my body that I am confident, so the horse would follow me. It's like so amazing.
And I see we get Penny on too. House of Dogs. Sarah's on. Lovely, lovely. So here's another one. Today, Roxy's the horse. Roxy taught me humility. As long as I stay calm, caring, and humble, I can make connections. My addiction keeps me disconnected, and I was overwhelmed by the feeling of communication and the great spirit of Roxy. To feel non-judgmental love from just an amazing animal was almost beyond words. I'm filled with gratitude. One more from this group. JR taught me that I have to lead with confidence and not to doubt myself. I was shown this through trying to walk JR. We could just see it in her head.
I had totally.
Yeah. She would not follow me unless I was walking directly with my head held high and did not doubt my ability to do something. I have to remember to be confident in everything I do and trust that people I love will follow me.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's always so amazing.
Oh, this one's good too. I learned how important it is to mean what you want, to be honest. If you are wishy-washy about what you want, it projects and the horse is confused. It reminded me to be honest about what I want in life.
I love that. And even as you were reading those, like yesterday, they'd always wonder, well, why isn't this horse moving? And I said, well, do you know where you're going? Well, I don't know, somewhere over there. So what's the number one thing a horse needs to feel? They say safe. So is a horse going to follow somebody who doesn't know where they're going in life? And that blows their brain. Now, I always make that comment, even though some of our facilitators are like, that's too much.
Yeah.
But I like it because then I can still switch it up. Okay, so maybe not in life, but where are you going in the arena?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but will the horse follow you if you're not sure? Like they really are having to make adjustments that they can do without the horse, but they're not understanding that they're doing this all the time. And that's why they're not moving anywhere. You know,
we had a great parallel come up yesterday too about why a horse wouldn't follow you. Their whole thing is to feel safe, right? So imagine as a human, You're in a plane. You're supposed to go sky jumping.
Sky jumping.
Is that what it's called?
I think it's skydiving, but maybe it's sky jumping.
Okay. Well, one way or another, you're jumping out of a plane. Not cool, people. Just from a personal standpoint. Any hoodle. So you're about to jump out of a plane and you ask the guy, well, what altitude are we at? Or what altitude do we need to be at? I don't know. I guess could say what? Yeah, you're not going to jump out of the plane, right? Well, how much further until we get, I don't know. We'll see. Do we go over the mountains? I don't know. You're not going to feel good and safe about jumping out of a plane if they don't have the answers of even where you are going, the simplistic ones. Your horse will not feel safe following you if you do not have the answer of where you are headed. Simple as that.
I love that analogy. I'm going to use that one all the time.
Yeah, you're about to go sky jumping.
Yeah, sky
jumping. That's what it's called now, even if it wasn't. This was another lovely one. This was from one of the fellows in our guys groups. So my horse Disco taught me not to hesitate or to be afraid. Instead, just dive into it and be brave. This is the same as not putting off the work and addiction work. Work hard and don't hesitate to get better. Don't be afraid to take the chances and live life to the fullest. Yeah, that was a good one too.
They're all good ones.
They are all good ones.
Oh man, there's just so many of them.
Even in the most simplistic form, be present, have patience. This is a lot. Like, have you tried to be present lately?
Being present.
It's hard.
It's super hard. Like it maybe some humans definitely are trying for that. I mean, even in meditation, and kudos to you who know how to do that meditation, because even when I have tried many times, I'm there and then a thought pops. No matter what, things are still coming into our heads. I'm going to get the diagram of the human on thought.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. I'll go through a few more of these. So these are, again, the guys ones. Staying confident is a gift to have in life because you can conquer the huge things in life just as much as these small things in life. Always be confident in myself, and I can actually follow through with stuff. I like that one.
Oh, I love that one. Stuff.
And it's so cute too. So the top of our, it's so cute. These are grown men, but it is adorable. Yeah. But at the top of their, what their horse taught them that day, it says name. It's so sweet. Sometimes they put in the horse's name. I love it.
We always tell them too, though, we are going to be reading everything they reflected on to the horses. So they love that because they're just so sincere. Like, this is where I love non-horse people coming into your programs.
Yes.
Because they believe because they've seen it all through how that horse is reacting with them or not because of where it is that they're at. But they love saying thank you to their horses so much. Like, they love, no matter what, whoever you are out there, if you're in an equine business, they fall in love with your horses. And that's what I love about even our business is we share our horses with everybody, because when someone wants them and they call them theirs, I'm never going to say, oh,
our horse.
They're our horses.
Back off.
Yeah, go away there, bucko. So no, it doesn't not roll.
I'm just going to read one more and then you can fill in this. This one I love. I learned that I can feel safe again in my life because not everyone's out there to hurt or take advantage of me. I will use this by slowly letting people in my life again, step by step, day by day.
These are huge.
That is huge.
Like,
for
huge.
Any of us who have trust issues out there in the world.
I think many of us do.
Well,
do we not?
Who hasn't been burned, right?
Yeah.
At one point or another, it just is always, again, that how do you react to those pieces? Are you still going to give out the trust? But that I can feel safe again in my life. We talk about safety with the horses so much, but in the hierarchy of needs and everything that us as humans need, safety's up there, man. Like, what do you think a home provides you? What do you think a full belly makes you feel? All of these things, it still is. That's what makes us safe within our world, is to feel that way, just like our horses need to feel safe. So I learned I can feel safe again in my life. That's a big freaking statement.
And that's huge. A connection for being self-aware. And, that's the biggest part, I would say, with all of our programs. It's helping that human to become so self-aware of who they are for connection within their own being. So it stays strong. So no matter where it is and what they're doing, they get it. And as we're doing our orientation, I always hold up a couple of pictures too, because I always say, who has horse experience here? Sometimes you have, people who have been around horses, but most of our clients are non-horse people. And it doesn't matter if you have horse experience or not, which I always tell them. What I want them to understand is being self-aware means, are we aware of what our body is actually saying, and does it match our verbal?
Mhm.
And most humans will say, geez, I haven't even really thought of that. Like that, it's huge, because when you're self-aware, you actually start living in a moment, because you're so present in feeling what your body is doing, and is it matching what your words are saying. So I'll say to any team that comes in through orientation, I'll always show them a picture of a horse, and I'll say, without even knowing, let's say, the body language and how the horse is going to talk to you, what does this horse look like to you? Now, we get a variety of things. There will say, ooh, he's not in a good mood, or looks really cranky. But then we're always waiting, because someone is going to see that this horse is looking pretty okay. Then I'll say, yes. Then we go to,
there you go, TikTokians.
Oh, sorry about that. Then we go to this picture. So tell me then what this horse is saying. See, now they've already starting to get the ideas. Through even a horse, they're discovering, even then they're not sure why the body has changed, but this horse don't look happy. So he's got the ugly face on. And then of course we do the side by side, so that they're able to see a difference right away, because being self-aware means we do notice other living beings. We notice another human, another predator animal, and we notice the prey animal, because we really need people to get self-aware. Then I do you want to do one more?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I think we should.
Oh, sure. So this is another fabulous one. To be present and aware of my feelings and emotions, to be congruent with others and be vulnerable, being able to open up with others and to be truthful with myself, to be honest, sincere, and follow through with the right intentions, to be kind and sincere with others, to be selfless and loving, and be truthful, to be able to read and be self-aware of my body language and others. That worked out well.
Yeah, it worked out beautiful. We had this one fellow in yesterday, and I mean, sometimes you get clients, you're like, you can sometimes actually even feel, when you're self-aware and connected to yourself, you can sometimes feel other people's energy or stimulus, and you're like, oh, something's a little off like that. And I do have to say, in all of the years since 2008 that I've been doing it, there's only been, and I can count on one hand, how many times I got in the pit of my stomach, something don't feel right. Like I don't feel safe with that person. You've had that same thing. Like there's something a little off.
And a lot of times they were very, well, for me, a lot of times very fresh off of an addiction.
Yeah.
So they weren't safe in their own human self at that point.
And that's why you can see how even working with horses, you want to work with organizations, because when you're working with the organizations, they already have the program set up for their clients, and they're already not, I guess, clean, but they are clean before they can come into
but they're
the program.
Still like their body still is detoxing.
Yeah,
there's still a lot going on. It's still very fresh. They're still shaky. There's a lot going on at that point.
Exactly. But I mean, you can see how unfair and how unsafe that would be to a horse if you are just working with drug addicts who aren't on any kind of a recovery.
Yeah, they have to be past that point. Otherwise, there would be no safety.
No,
yeah, like horses would be like, Joodles, this, would need to be level.
Another great thing I think in being human, being self-aware and connected to these clients who are coming in is you stop judging the book by its cover.
So true.
Because we have so many different people. And, as humans, when we aren't self-aware, we can make judgments on humans, which we have no right to do, like none, because we've never walked in anyone else's footsteps and we don't even know what that would be like. But you become more aware, like being a horse. There's no judgment to the outer look. But this guy yesterday, he had so many
piercings.
Oh, piercings. That's I was going to say earrings, but I mean, they're all earrings. Like they're hanging everywhere. Like the one that was so heavy, I wanted to lift it up for him because it makes me think, ooh, that's not good.
Hurt. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What a sweetheart.
he just melted with Sophie. He couldn't get enough of being able to touch this living being. And I just find that so precious. Being a professional, being a human, how much we're learning all the time to stay more in that awareness of no judgment, no lying, no, like really becoming the horse, except for no matter what, we'll still always be human and we'll have always this.
But I think the guys programs have been probably the most humbling on that side of things as far as who you judge or judging a book by its cover. Because we've had so many come in with like if you saw them in an alley,
you would be probably go the other way, scared.
Right?
You would run, man.
The face tats and like scary
eardrops,
big looking dudes,
not eardrops,
the teardrops and like lots of stuff. Because
you told me that means they killed somebody.
There's lots of things going on with a lot of people.
You told me
that,
but no judgment.
But we have gotten away from that because once you get to know the person, and especially getting to know them with the horses, our judgments would have been very, very wrong, right? And that's not what they need to get better, is to be judged. What they need to get better is the skills to move themselves forward in their own lives. So yeah, no, it's been cool. It's been humbling, that side of things. So humbling. For sure. Yeah.
So Carolyn made this for me because I always like to show people a visual and helping them understand. So it's not just, auditory. I want them to see that difference. So we didn't want a horse being in a barn because our horses are free to be teachers. So I always say to them at the very end of the program, before we go out to meet the horses,
I think we're back on there.
Is anyone out there that stayed with us? Because we lost all power.
Power went out. But
power outage on a beautiful, sunny, lovely day. So let us know.
I think
no keeping us hanging.
Yeah, let us know now.
Yeah.
It's good now.
Okay. Yay. All right. Thank you, Heather.
Good.
Oh, poor Heather. Totally messed poor Heather's mind. She's taking the certification
as soon
course.
As I saw Heather, I'm like,
oh my gosh. I feel so bad because as people ask questions, I think other people need to know the answers. So now I'm adding a few things to the course she's already in, but I'm making her go crazy because she thought she's already done that. She goes back and it's like, well, that's not completed. So sorry about that, Heather, but it's well worth it.
She said, Kathy says, went out just after you said, we always say. So what is it that we always say? Oh, you always say
the promise.
Yeah.
So just as we are, can you repeat after you held up?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's where we're going to go back to this guy.
So our promise before we go out to the horses, and I say we can make this promise because the promise is you're going to get the gift of living in the present moment. You're going to get a clean slate today that gives your brain a break. And they get very excited, like, what are you talking about? So of course I always say, this is human. Oop, this way. Maybe you hold it. Yeah. This is us as humans. We come in and we have so many thoughts. It's just thought all the time. It's so heavy. It's such a burden to be into all this thinking all the time. I always make a joke, like on that commercial, this is your brain on drugs.
This is your brain on drugs.
Yeah, and it's the eggs. Yeah. So this is what I always say. This is human on thought. So it's crazy. Then you go out to the horse and then through being and you cannot be present because you have to stay safe. So it's so cool. And then of course, after, this is what the horse gives to you. So then when we come in after, and of course, Carolyn made one in the boys and the girls. Then when we come in, I always say to them, so did anyone think of supper, vacation, or your family or work or recovery? And they're like, This is, and they say, effing amazing how this happened, because they don't believe that it's going to happen that way. They are so incredibly happy that they got a break from their brain. We all do when we work with a horse, as long as we're being, again, self-aware that we're present. If your horse keeps wanting to go away from you, do a check-in with connecting to yourself. Are you here? Are you thinking of supper tonight? Are you thinking of the business you want to do? You have to be always very much so present, and your horses stay with you when you're present. Like, it's a very safe place and they want to be there, you know?
It's so true.
Okay.
Here's another good one. I learned that I have to take leadership, not just with the horse, but my own life. I will try to manage my own life and rather than let itself run riot. Take leadership of my addiction. Lights came on.
I don't know if they really care. Yeah. That's connection as well. But did you see we still stayed in the present?
Yes. Kathy, it is in your business pack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You get all of this stuff. Like, in your business packs, everything is made for you. Like, that's the best part of starting with us.
Here's a good one too, that I lack congruency. Some of them are harder to read than others.
She's the reader of the journals.
Yeah. Okay. That I lack congruency. When I bring it back to center, and I do have to focus, take my direction and leadership within myself. I need to intentionally realign myself and for the attitude and communication with others.
Again, that's being so self-aware, and he wouldn't have got that just by sitting in four walls listening to a human say those words.
Nope.
It had to be in the moment that the horse does or doesn't do something.
Be strong, take leadership. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Patience is key. Horses
are so forgiving when they're trying to help us poor confused humans to be a little bit more balanced in our life. They forgive as long as we're making that right intentional piece to make that change.
Feeling safe helps with being more open with everyone, including myself. Everyone needs to feel safe so they can be their true self.
That is what it is.
It's true.
It is true.
I learned both are a team effort, and life is a team effort, and I can't be done alone. The importance of patience and good communication and connection. To be patient in my recovery. You keep hearing, think about what they're actually learning about back at the organizations, right? Especially thinking about addiction, because that's we're working with a lot is addiction recovery. Safety, patience, leadership of your own life, congruent with self, connection. Well, connection is the opposite of addiction. These are all things that's what we're wanting them to focus on. We're wanting it to go back to what they're learning as well, because those are the essential pieces to move forward out of addiction. And a lot of times a big thing that's missing is the reintegration side of things. It's scary to go back out to the real world. And that's where the life skills come in. You have to learn how to reconnect again. You have to learn how to sometimes even have fun again, because you're having fun in a totally different way than you used to have fun before that maybe wasn't so great. Right?
Maybe it really wasn't fun.
Yeah. And maybe it wasn't actually fun in the first place. But even these are the skills that help them to move forward with their lives and to actually do something differently, but still being congruent with who they are in themselves as well.
One of our guys, I think his name is Richard. Oh my goodness. He just loved our horse Faye yesterday. Who's
so sweet.
Very much so a teacher of boundaries. So he protected her all the time. He wouldn't let any guy touch her face or her neck, because that is the horse's personal spatial boundaries. Yes. Don't touch there. Don't touch there. Don't touch there. So I really thought that was great. But before we went out to the arena and before we even started talking about orientation and why we work with horses, he came up and he read all of the words that we have on our achievement board. He goes, "What the F?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "These are all the words that I have been learning in my recovery. In AA, you have everything. You're hitting every single thing that I have been learning about for years." I said, "Well, that is really amazing, because we did not build our programs or anything on AA
addictions or any of that
stuff. This was created long before that, but he was so profound. He was already in before we even went out to the arena, just because the words made sense visually and through what he's already been learning.
Yesterday was actually kind of cool because a lot of times when the first time they come in, it's a lot of, like the body language is pretty closed off and they're pretty quiet and they're not really looking at us.
And they think we're fluffy.
Yeah, they think we're blowing sunshine. Yeah. And we start saying things about the horses and you can see if you raise the eyebrow and do that kind of stuff. But yesterday's group was like all in right from the get-go. They're like, and what does that mean? And I was doing the emotion chart thing. They're like, you missed one. Go back and do the rest of them. Like they were hungry for the information. It was kind of cool. Yeah, it was a different one.
That. They were getting the meat yesterday.
Oh,
no milk. It was all meat.
No milk. Is that how the saying goes?
I don't know. I think when you want more,
it's the meat and potatoes
the meat kind of that you want, not just the milk, because milk just soothes that little bit,
I'll go with it.
Okay.
I like it.
So 2 more, and then we better get ready because we have the Calgary Dream Center coming today.
It taught me patience, that giving something a real chance will work out in your favor, to really give all of this a chance.
I love that.
That's pretty cool.
One of our counselors, Jeff, who comes with the Calgary Dream Center guys, he always tells his fellas, when I was in university, I was in one of these courses and someone had brought up equine therapy and they did paper on it and the presentation and everything. I'm like sitting back thinking, this is so wooey. Like, this is BS. This is never going to work. He goes, he's even done the programs. He is a total flip of everything now. He cannot believe how powerful it is to be working with equine.
These team horses now.
Yeah.
I loved the way how calm I felt when I was with the horses. The connection, they made me feel like I was accepted when I am with them. And with my brothers in the same. Give everyone encouragement. I thought that was pretty sweet.
I love that too.
I understand all that.
Well, I hope that you have enjoyed hearing some of we're literally just taking it out of the book.
Word for word, yeah.
Because there's just so amazeballs. And then what we do with all of these reflections or journaling, whatever you want to call them, these go back to the organization after. So we get to enjoy them, but they all go back to them because it helps them for writing their grants and measurement and how it's helping them parallel even to the learning that's happening at the recovery center. So it's pretty overwhelming.
Somebody just posted
but in a beautiful way.
Comment. Sorry. Somebody just posted a comment on TikTok too. Why? How do I do this?
It's so great.
It's pretty awesome.
Seriously, waited all my life to do this. And now it's been 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah. It's life-changing, man.
Now. So for those of you who are interested in doing this as a career and getting these lovely babies for yourself, you can head to our website, or if you're in TikTok, go to our profile. There's the store there as well that'll let you go through all the information. But our website is equineconnection.ca. And head over to that one. There is a plethora of information. Yes, singular. Equine Connection.
Not plural.
.ca.
Yeah. That's correct.
That's
A.
Think the fawns.
So I hope it was a great journey for you. Does anyone have a question before we head out?
I just want to find one final one.
Oh, she's looking for a gooder. So give me some questions. Really? Oh, maybe they're typing slow though. That's what I'm going to say.
Maybe they're 2-finger typers.
Yeah. That's what Sid does. Hey, can we type down there?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
In the commentos.
Okay. So I guess there is no questions, so that's okay.
It's funny how this one kind of hits me too. There's a poem that we have read to our facilitators, or that our facilitators have gotten.
What will matter?
What will matter, and it's all about what will matter is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice, right? Choose to live a life that matters. And I don't know why that just popped into my head, maybe because of what he wrote here, but change doesn't happen overnight, and to be patient and go with the flow. Slow down, take a breath, be patient, let myself be.
And I think that's the biggest thing is just being. It's so funny because sometimes we'll have guys or groups come in and you can just feel where it's going in that
Yeah.
presentation. And then when you get out to the horses, you can feel that it's not a day that they're wanting to just go through a station. They want to just be. So we always bring that up as well, because to be able to make a choice to want to just be where you're at right at this moment, that's pretty wonderful. Give credit to yourself that it feels so good to just be and not have to rush or think or do anything else, right?
Even this one, it is the best time ever when I come out here, and Brandon and all the horses are amazing. Look, it's just
so
good
precious.
stuff, people.
It is.
And you know what? I didn't even think about it. I didn't even print off or bring any of the corporate testimonials or a women's one. There are so many different groups you can work with. And it's not that you have to work with addictions. It's not that you have to work with children. It's not that you have to work with any sort of at-risk group. You can be working with mams. I don't know why that came
People, breast cancer, families who are dealing with cancer,
corporate team building, all sorts of things.
PTSD. But understanding, you still have to understand, to me, your markets. What is it that you need to have in order? You just don't go out and, hey, all who have PTSD, come on along. It doesn't roll like that,
but that reintegration piece too, from having PTSD and being able to live in a world again, knowing that you have that piece and you have to work with it. It's really applicable to all groups out there. And it tends to be that it's who's in your heart.
Yeah.
A lot of times it resonates with things that we've gone through in our own lives or that we've had to deal with or that we can kind of connect with in a different way, but the sky's the limit on who you can work with. Heather, thank you. I am so excited to come to your facility and get started to skill development for me and my clients. So inspirational for me today. I'm so glad.
Oh, me too. Again, Heather, sorry if I messed your mind, but I loved it because before Heather signed up for her certification course, she was on the back of a horse. I was in my facility with my horses and we were talking about the certification and how this is going to roll for her even in the future, which we got some good plans. But I'm so excited to be able to meet you in person, especially when you live so close to us. She's the Cochrane area, I believe.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So no, it's going to be quite lovely.
And that's beautiful.
Yep.
Well, this was fun today. I know
it was very relaxed and chillaxing.
Nice, loosey-goosey, nice feeling today too. And then we get to get ready for the fellas to come. So we get more of these lovely pieces.
Next week is our beautiful Leah Dick. Now, Leah Dick not only is a certified facilitator, but she has her own program. And in this program, it is helping us to understand through the fascia bands, and you could with chakra as well. It's the same, it's just relaying those, not relaying.
Same, but
the parallels with the fascia and the chakras. But she designed this course with a veterinarian as well. So this is all evidence-based, but it really helps you to understand when a horse is coming to a certain place on a human. What is that meaning? And we allow our horses to do these things because that's what horses do for themselves and for each other. So let them replicate it to help us tied up human beings. So she's joining us next week to tell us all about her course, which is, it will change your life and your world too. Not only does our course, but it's going in deeper to that horse. So it makes more sense even in facilitating.
Leah was the first one that brought us into that kind of world. And the reason that it worked so beautifully is because she takes the energy side and the science side and shows how they work together, how it's true, it's real. So even the skeptics like me, they're like, oh, makey sensey, got it. So you do not want to miss Leah. Equus Empower.
Yep. And I'm sure she's going to be on with us for an hour. So don't miss out next week, because I'm sure she'll give you a whole bunch, plethora, as you always say, of info that you're going to be able to go and try it on your horse.
And have your questions ready, because she's awesome in answering questions and that sort of thing too. She's just cool, you guys. And she's just lovely. So you want to be there next week for sure. Same time.
Yep.
Wednesday at noon next week, Mountain Time. So make sure you're coming back and joining us for that one as well.
And you're also welcome. Have an amazing, amazing day. I wrote down. Very nice. Okay.
Can you tell me you're trying to read something?
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Oh, good. No, you'll meet her, Heather, in workplace too, because she's one of us.
Yep. She's phenomenal. We love her to pieces.
Okay.
Right. Have a great week,
everybody. Make it happen, people. Be self-aware, connected.
Connected. See y'all next week.